It's been a long time since I've done one of these things. Why? Because I don't like doing them. I'm not an angry person. I have nothing against most anybody in my personal circle. Although, although admittedly, speaking of personal, this Scipio Rant is a WWE themed one. So, yeah, damn right, it's personal. What is it about? Well, over the last couple of months, WWE fans have gotten unruly, jumping the security barricades, having vital signs, taking over shows with chants, and just being overall bad sports. Now, some can equate it to the storyline writers being stupid. Yes, it's not a banner time for the WWE. Nowhere near it. Near it. But its talent pool hasn't been more rich. It's just that the writers and the bookers don't know how to place everyone. And because of, well, the WWE network, people are antsy about spending money on a product they don't like. On top of that, the WWE is suffering through a dark age identity crisis. One foot into a brand new era, and one foot into the old one, the Attitude Era. Which, by the way, spoilers, children, as a wrestling fan of 27 years, I can attest the Attitude Era wasn't that good. A lot of it, a lot of it was based on excellent writing and the characters being entertaining enough. To say that there was wrestling in the era is very light, and there's very few wrestlers from the era that I actually like. In fact, I can only name three: Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle. Why? Because they were the only ones that really could wrestle. Chris Benoit, or excuse me, he that shall not be named, being the fourth. But as for the fans jumping the barricades, it's unsavory, it's unsafe, it's stupid, it's grandstanding, it's all the annoying annoyance verbs that I can possibly give you. Heck, as an example, last week on Raw, you could see live on television a fan jump the barricade and get right in the middle of Seth Rollins' entrance. But this isn't the first time. In fact, there's been one event every month of disturbance. Once every week, whether it be a house show, TV shows, vault of signs, you name it, the fans have tried to hijack it. And quite frankly, from this wrestling fan, it's getting annoying. Hell, Dean Ambrose was nearly almost assaulted on with a knife. Yeah, a fan jumped the fence, almost got in the ring armed to try to harm one of the talents. Now, I'm a solutions oriented person, so what to do about it? Well, take a cue from some athletes that have spoken out about this very subject in actual sports of fans hitting the field of play. Some athletes, mainly Ron Artest, Meta World Peace, and some other athletes, have spoken that the athletes themselves should be able to not only physically touch the disturbance, but lay the smackdown on them. Physically hurt them. Because, let's be honest, fans, you're jumping right into their employment. It would be like if I was a fan of an office building and I jumped right into your cubicle as you were trying to make that sweet report with a video camera on. It would be that kind of annoying shit. And you know what I would do to you? I would beat the living crap out of you, send you straight to security, and have you dealt with and tased, but not before I got my hands on you. And before anybody says, well, what can you do about the family friendly image? Well, there's a certain thing called a disclaimer, a voucher. And almost if you jump the fence, we can't be held liable for what might happen to you, which is exactly what the WWE needs to do. It needs the talent to keep the fans in the stands, because obviously the security isn't enough. And when is this actually going to be addressed on a widespread level, I ask? When a wrestler actually gets hurt due to a fan's interference, or worse yet, dies because the fans are loaded with cynical anti-WWE vitriol over the company's current direction. Now, I get it. On the internet, hell, even I've done it. We all try to play smart marks in the wrestling business. We all try to predict what's going to happen before it happens. And usually, when we're right, it does indeed bother us. But instead of making signs that say Owen jumped, or jumping into the stands, or worse yet, bringing a knife to a WWE event, then why don't we do the most simple thing we can do? Change the channel. There are other options, people out there on television. If you don't like the product, you don't have to watch it. And oh, by the way, WWE, your rampant marketing of WWE 2K16 with Attitude Era wrestlers and Hall of Famers isn't necessarily giving the impression that you're ready to let go with the Attitude Era, which means the fans aren't either, and they're going to hold you to that similar standard as well. But as for what you should do with the fans, get them out, get them beat up if necessary, and use the examples as a stay in your seats PSA before the event begins. If enough people get flogged, you will not only get the media support, fans will stop doing it. And maybe it will send a chain reaction throughout all sports. That way fans and the talent can stay safe. It's okay not to enjoy the talent, to voice your displeasure. That's what social media is for. That's what Facebook is for. Or even here on YouTube. There's tons of other places to voice your displeasure and straight up get all your anger out. But you don't need to buy a ticket, grandstand, and worse yet, put the very business itself and its liabilities in danger to prove point. Yes, the WWE is going through some dark ages, but we need to stop being dark fans. Not necessarily to give a little bit and let the WWE trample all over us, but voice our displeasure in non-violent ways. Ways that can better us. In ways that can help the industry. Or would you rather be the first to be used in that nasty PSA and get your ass stomped by a wrestler who's had way too much of this stuff happen to him. If I was the WWE, I'd seriously consider it. And as for my fellow wrestling fans, that I am one of them, passionate, please don't make the wrestling fandom look stupid, violent, liquored up, and drunk. It took us over 20 years to get over that Southern drunk stereotype, but we don't need to go back and get ourselves pigeonholed in it. Stay in your seats. Or if it were my way, you'd be paying the price. And no ticket, no matter where the seat, is worth a beat down. Find peace in your own nirvana. Thanks for watching.